So I'm about to just go ahead and start this off because you already know what this episode about. You've seen the title and everything else. So let me just first off and just start with what everyone is talking about. The trailer for Avengers Infinity War dropped today, and I could not be more excited. Now, I was one of those people that I did watch the trailer that was leaked from Comic-Con. And I expressed this up in a past podcast of the Take One podcast, of course, that I wasn't, even though I watched it, I wasn't going to speak on it. I wasn't going to talk about it. I think it was like me, I forgot which one. I got to go back. But I brought it up and I wasn't going to talk about it until they officially release the official Avengers Infinity War trailer for the world to see on YouTube, high definition in all its glory. And so now I'm here to talk about this one and then talk about some of the stuff that I kind of saw on the other one, what I can make out. This trailer was awesome. It wasn't long enough for my taste, but in the same sense, just getting a glimpse of what this movie has to offer was fairly enjoyable. We see a crazy amount of stuff up in here. We see this big spinning wheel thing up in the sky. More than likely, it is a portal or something of that magnitude, which brings Thanos or whatever minions or whatever into this world. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's something from the comic books that they bring there. I haven't heard anybody speak on it as far as that being, though I do probably need to listen a little bit more just to see if it is something from the comic book. But there's a spinning wheel in the sky that Spider-Man ends up getting on, and we see this new suit that Spider-Man has, more than likely from Tony Stark, which actually looks really awesome. It looks really awesome. I was not really a fan of the old Spider-Man costume before, but I got kind of accustomed to it, got kind of used to it. Like, okay, yeah, this new Spider-Man and all that stuff. But then seeing him in this new costume, I'm like, yo, this was a major upgrade, and he looks phenomenal. Then on top of that, we see Black Widow with the white hair. She's sporting the white hair. We see Hulk. Well, actually, Bruce Banner, he doesn't Hulk out. We see this scene where he's laying down in rubble where, I don't know, maybe something happened to where maybe that's probably within the battle scene where he's going against Thanos, and he ends up basically getting pulverized to where he has to go back to Bruce Banner. I don't know. This is all speculation. This is all me guessing. And just, it looks crazy. And then I think the two scenes may be connected to where Doctor Strange, and I forgot the guy's name up in the Doctor Strange movie, but they're looking down at Bruce Banner. I don't know if the scenes are connected because you know how trailers can be. They can be misleading, and they can put two scenes together that aren't really together in the actual movie. So, but you see Doctor Strange in there. He's doing his thing. You see Vision. You see Vision in a human form. So, I mean, and someone I work with came up to me and he said, like, was he tweaking or was Vision human? And I had to bring it to life. I didn't look at it as like it was just something surprising. It was like, oh, okay, he made a human form, because if you remember up in Age of Ultron, he looked at Thor's cape and materialized a cape out of nothing. So him basically turning to where he looks human isn't anything surprising or new or whatever. So, I mean, I looked at it, it was like, oh, he took on the human form. So, okay. And then on top of that, we got Scarlet Witch, and we can see that their relationship is further progressing up in this movie. I mean, you saw it kind of like little thing of it in Age of Ultron, and then you saw it kind of get like a little bit further in Captain America Civil War. And then this one, they're in a room together. Scarlet Witch is in the bed or whatever, and they're a full-on relationship couple. They're together, as well as we have more scenes of Cap. A scene that was shown before up in the other trailer, but you see him coming out of the darkness. Him catching the spear. him catching the spear, that was actually badass. I'm not too versed with like the comic books, so that probably was a character staff or something or whatever. I know my nephew said something about the Black Order or something like that. I'm not familiar with that, but all I know is that he catches the staff. He does it in a badass way. He comes out the shadow, and that relates to Black Panther. Black Panther is somewhat, I ain't gonna say heavy, but he is kind of heavy. He has a heavy presence in this trailer, and with that scene, he tells somebody like, and get this man a shoe. So I love that. And then you, of course, you got Winter Soldier, who's back, who was at the end of Civil War, who was put on ice because of him being fearful that he was going to be a danger, because he still has this kind of like, he has his brain programmed to be just the freaking Winter Soldier, the person that killed Tony Stark's parents and all that stuff. And yeah, I'm saying spoilers. I'm saying some spoilers, because if you watch this and you're planning on watching Infinity War, obviously you've watched Captain America Civil War by now, and it's over a year old. So damn. But in any case, what else? We see, I don't think I saw any Hawkeye. There was no Hawkeye in this, but you did see his wife in there, I believe. Yeah, his wife was in there, so he was in there. You see Loki, who has the cube. I think it was the Tesseract cube, and it looks like he's handing it to somebody. It doesn't show who. It doesn't show whether it's Thanos or it could be Nick Fury or anybody. I don't know who it is. But you see him up in there. You see who else? Of course, Iron Man. You get Iron Man up in there. Tony Stark actually kind of starts off with him. You see him as Tony Stark, and then you see him as Iron Man. What else? I'm hoping I'm not forgetting. I know I'm forgetting a lot of stuff, but there is a lot that happened up in here. You see Thanos, and he looks awesome. He looks incredible. Just coming out, and just him having the Infinity Gauntlet on, and then him. I don't know if it was, I think it's his minions, because it don't look like it was him, but you see them taking a staff and putting it towards Vision's Infinity Stone that's on his head, and him screaming in agony like it was just hurting him. And then the scene after that, like I said, this could be like a non-connecting scenes, and just kind of like scenes they blending together, just whatever. But you see Thanos putting another Infinity Stone in the Infinity Gauntlet, and he is on a warpath. He is going to get what the hell he's going to get. And then one of the scenes that stood out to me was that it was a conflict between Thanos and Iron Man, where Thanos punches Iron Man straight down, and he not only just hits the ground, but he kind of like rubs up against the dirt, the gravel, and all that stuff. And one thing that I noticed is that the Infinity Gauntlet is on his left hand. That's on his left hand. He punches Iron Man with his right hand, his free bare knuckle right hand, and knocks Iron Man clear to the ground. So that just shows you what type of power he's packing. Now, there's a lot of stuff. There is like creatures that are invading Earth or whatever. I don't know what they are. They're just like 4-armed creatures or whatever. But you're going against all these characters in the Marvel Universe, so you're going to need minions for them to fight. I mean, you had it up in the Avengers, you had it up in Age of Ultron. Now you're gonna have it in this one. You're gonna have to have different type of putty type, just throwaway villain minions or whatever that the group has to fight. And this movie looks like it's going to be an all-out war film. It looks like it's going to be a war film, and I say that because you see all the tribal warriors in Wakanda going up against these like these things or whatever they are, and then you see, actually, matter of fact, now that I think about it, you do see the Hulk up in here, and like I believe it's the last and final shot, not after, well, before the credit, before the title sequence come up. But you do see the Hulk up in there, and they're doing this one scene where it's who was it all? It's Black Panther, Captain America, Hulk. You got Black Widow. You got like a few other people, whatever, just running straight toward like where the camera is, and it looks really, really awesome. It looks like a lot of chaos is going to happen, and it looks like this is spread through a large distance. Like it's not just in one place. It looks like it's spread through a large place, from just different place, from place to place. It doesn't. The thing is that this trailer shows a lot, but it doesn't show that much, because there was a scene in the the first trailer that they had showed at Comic-Con where which I wish they would have shown the trailer that they showed at Comic-Con. I wished I could have seen that. That I don't know, like I feel like that could have been the trailer that they showed, but you know, it is what it is. But if you haven't seen it, there at the beginning of it there is Thor, who smashes up against the Guardians' windshield. And so they take him in. Thor wakes up and he looks at him and he says, "Who the hell are you?" Or whatever. And then you see him looking at the Guardians, and then they're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And it's like it goes on from there. And in this one, you get that at the end of the title sequence where, you know, you see Thor with the if you haven't seen Thor Ragnarok, then this is a spoil. Thor loses his eye. If you've seen this trailer, obviously you've seen it because you're listening to this. If you've seen Thor Ragnarok, now he has the patch over his eye. He's looking at the Guardians and he's saying, "Who the hell are you?" And then you see the Guardians right there. And that was one thing that I've noticed that was missing throughout the action sequences up in the trailer, was the Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't there. But when you see, but from what I was seeing up in the up in the Comic-Con leaked trailer, you do see the Guardians in the action scenes. So I don't know, like I wish that I was able to see that way I could critique, well not critique, but like, you know, comment more. And then I heard that there was a scene involving Thanos and the moon. I wasn't there, but I guess he breaks the moon and he throws it at the Avengers, and he just, it's all this crazy, just craziness is what I can say. Just craziness that happened up in this trailer, and then it happened with what I saw up in the old trailer. And it's not enough that I can like sit here and like, you know, the Comic-Con trailer versus this new official worldwide trailer or nothing like that. But it's just all that I'm remembering. But just overall, this movie looks awesome. I can get a little bit excited, but I cannot get more excited than what I am. I don't know. I don't know if it's really coming out of my voice right now, but I am truly excited to see this film. I know a lot of people probably did reaction videos where they were just freaking out and all this stuff. But I'm truly excited. Like, this movie is an event movie. This is a movie that I cannot wait to see. Look, life is short. If God is going to take me before I reach like 31, please let it be behind Avengers Infinity War. Of course, I don't want to die. You know, I still have a lot I want to do with my life before I bite the dust. But if it so happen, please, Lord, take me after Avengers Infinity War. Because this movie looks like it's going to be a movie that people are going to love. Like, this is going to be one of those movies where we just... This is it. This is the end all. I mean, of course, we know that this is not the final MCU film and all that stuff, because we got films that's coming after it. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp comes right after it. But yeah, this trailer, like I said, it shows a whole lot, but it doesn't show all of it, because there was a Vanity photos that came out up in Vanity Fair, I think it was the magazine, where it has like a lot of the characters and like on like different pages, and I think it's like about 4 or 5 pages where it had like about 4 to 5 to 6 different characters on each page. And so it has characters up in there that it didn't show in the trailer. So that leads me to believe that, yeah, there's still a lot of character that they didn't include in the trailer that we still have yet to see. So I mean, I'm truly excited to see this. I'm very excited to see this. I was buzzing when this trailer dropped. When I finally got a chance to watch it, I was bugging out. I've watched it several times now. I'm probably gonna watch it again and again, like probably even before I go to bed tonight or tomorrow. And just this is a movie for the ages. This is a movie. Basically, you know, Star Wars fans have their Star Wars films that they geek over. Marvel fans, we have the Marvel movies, the Marvel Avengers movies. And this looks like it is going to be just one of those films that's just going to go down as a classic. If this movie comes out and is better than the first Avengers movie, oh my God, this is going to be one for the ages. I love this trailer. I don't know if I could say anything more about it. You see a whole lot. You see a whole lot. You see, I want to see this movie. You can tell a lot of crazy stuff happened in this. One of the things that I've noticed that like certain scenes, it does seem like the CG isn't quite finished, which I kind of guessed it. Okay, they bringing out this trailer. This movie is some months away, so I mean they're still finalizing a lot of the CG and the action and all that stuff. So they're still doing some polishing, some touching up and all that stuff. So it's not going to look like certain scenes that I had a problem with, like with one of the, I don't know what it was, but something just crashing down to the earth or whatever in one of the scenes. It kind of looked, like it wasn't polished like it should. More than likely, it's going to look way better when the movie actually is completed and everything is finalized as far as the CG and all that. I'm really curious to see how this movie plays out. One of the things that I am very curious is just the time length. The time length. This movie, I will be perfectly fine. I will be perfectly fine if this movie was 3 hours. If it was a little over 3 hours, I don't care. I'm going to go see it. I might see it twice in one night. Matter of fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to find the earliest showing on Thursday, go see it. After it, I'm going to get another ticket and I'm going to purchase it and I'm going to watch it again. That's exactly what I'm going to do. But in any case, if this movie is like 3 hours, a little bit over 3 hours, I will be perfectly fine with it. I'm going to go see it regardless, especially if it's awesome. If it's under 3 hours, I say if this movie, with the scale of it, I ain't gonna say it has to be 2.5 hours, but it would be nice. It'd be 2.5 hours, or a little bit over that, maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes or something like that. It'd be cool. But the only thing is like I know a lot of these studios, I ain't gonna say frown, but they just kind of look at it as like, okay, if it's 2.5 hours or more, then that means less showtimes. That means less money that they can make at the box office. But if it's at, like 2 hours and stuff, that means the more shows they can fit in, the more money that they can make for the box office. And this movie, I already stated up in a podcast, in the episode of the Take One podcast, that I do think this movie has a great chance, better than episode 8, of cracking $2 billion. I do think. I do think, because they're a lot of the same. I mean, Star Wars and in the Marvel movies, Avengers or whatever, they attract the same audience. But I think more people are going to be more open to seeing a Marvel film rather than a Star Wars film. Because I mean, it's people that's gonna down them. I've met people that don't care for a Star Wars film. They don't care no matter how I praise it. Or whatever. They just like, I don't, it's just not a movie for me. They don't care for it. And I met people that just don't really get, superhero films, and no matter how you or me or anybody try to explain it to them that they're not that they're not kids in films, kids can go, basically families can go enjoy them. You can go see them. I can go see them. I'm 30 years old. I can go see it by myself and not be looked at as like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, you got a son? You got a little nephew or something? You know, you go see it because people enjoy these films. And, you know, but, you know, I feel like this is just one of those movies. I talked 20 something minutes on this and I didn't even have an intro. I really didn't even have an intro. This is the 55th edition of the Take One podcast. I didn't have an intro and I'm already talking for 20 something minutes. This is a awesome trailer. I cannot wait till trailer 2 to see what more they have in store. More than likely, I'm not going to say we're going to get a second trailer for, episode 8, but more than likely, January, February, we're going to get a second trailer, and I'm just going to be salivating at the thought. Well, I'm salivating at the thought right now of a second trailer just to see more of what it has to offer, and I will be counting down the days of when this movie is going to drop, and I just can't be more excited. And I think that's all I really have to cover on that. That is just freaking, it's awesome. That's all I gotta say. It's just awesome. And so with that, I'm going to move to the next thing. I thought I was going to have time for another one, but since I've already gotten this far and we're already at like 21 minutes, I'm about to go ahead and just go with the box office results and do the box office predictions and the upcoming movies and all that stuff. So I'm going to try to do that, get through that as quick as possible and all that stuff. So last week, my predictions for this past weekend was Coco at number 1, Justice League at number 2, Wonder at number 3, Thor Ragnarok at number 4, and Daddy's Home 2 at number 5. And looking at this weekend's box office results, I can't even really call it a victory because this was kind of like a no-brainer of where it was going to go because we only had one big significant movie that dropped, this past weekend. So, I mean, and just where Justice League was tracking, it was kind of like real obvious and it was just real simple to just figure out that Justice League wasn't going to stay at number 1. So we got at number 1. And I got 5 for 5. Let me just put it up there. This is my second time getting 5 for 5. But this one, I'll take the victory, but it's more of a challenge when there's like 2 or 3 big films that are going to be in the top 5 coming out in that same weekend. So yeah, but in any case, so at number 1 was Coco with taking in $50 million on his debut weekend. And so we got Justice League at number 2, taking in that $41 million, which ain't really bad. It's not bad. It did 171 altogether. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. So and then we got Wonder taking in at $22 million. We got Thor Ragnarok at number 4, taking in at $16 million, and then we got number 5 with Daddy's Home 2 taking in $13 million. So yeah, like Coco, like I said, it was a no-brainer. I went to go see it. I did. I went to go see it with my son. I actually liked it. I still need to put up my review. I'm going to be putting up my review soon for that, so look out for it. I liked it. I think it deserved the spot that it was. I heard the controversy behind it. Well, not behind it, but just for what was put before it. So me and my son got in, like, I say a little bit late because we was getting like popcorn, hot dog, and a drink and stuff. And so we came in, I think, like halfway of the whole Olaf's adventure, the 20-minute Frozen thing. So I heard I'm just gonna get into this real quick, and then I'm gonna get to everything else. But I just wanted to just talk about this real quick. But I heard the whole controversy behind that. This is the first Mexican movie that Pixar has made where you have a all Mexican cast, Mexican theme and all that stuff. Just a minority like type film and stuff like that. And then you get this film, and at the beginning of it, what do? You put Frozen. And not only that any other Pixar movie was, had a short at the beginning, but it was an unknown short. But even if it was like known characters, it was like maybe 5-10 minutes long. This one was 20 minutes long, which I kind of questioned it, which I didn't really think about it until after I saw the controversy. Now, I'm not one of the people that just blow up and like, oh, this and that, but it does seem kind of like weird that they would put a 20-minute short of Frozen before, Coco. Like I said, I'm not about to jump to conclusion. Like, I'm not to go into a rant like, oh, that's just so racist, Pixar and blah, blah, and all this stuff. But I feel like they didn't need to do that. They really didn't. This was something that they could have put on the DVD as an extra. Just that's really what they should have done, is just put it as an extra. Or just put it out on its own. Put it out on a DVD of like just other, like with other shorts, and just, bam, there you go. I don't understand the logic or the reasoning behind it, but I don't think it was, I don't think it called for it. But in any case, I just wanted to kind of get that off my chest a little bit. It wasn't really banging on my chest, but I just kind of wanted to like speak on that a little bit. But Coco was good. It deserved the #1 spot. I didn't love it like a lot of people loved it, but I thought it was like pretty good. It wasn't. I wouldn't basically. I wouldn't put it in my top 10 best Pixar films of all time. Put it like that. But I would say it would be up in the top 20. It was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. But yeah. I mean, you got Justice League not too far after it. Like I said, it brought like the 41 million brings its total gross earnings to 171 million, which is nothing to smirk at. But a lot of people feel like it should have did over 100 its first weekend, and it didn't. But you get what you can get. It was a success. Like, I know a lot of people liked it. I loved it. I saw it twice. I'm going to go see it a third time. I'm definitely going to go see it a third time, because that was just a fun ass movie. This is the type of fun that I wish Suicide Squad was. But we're not going to open up that can of worms. But I feel like this movie was more of a fun film than Suicide Squad was, and that was just, yeah. But in any case, then you got Wonder, which was one of those movies that I said in like last podcast that I didn't think that was going to be in the top 5, but it had, it could be, but I counted it out, which I shouldn't have, but it did its thing. It outbeat Thor and all that stuff, and the 22 million brung its total to 69 million. And then you got Thor Ragnarok at 16 million, and that brings its total to 277 million. Which it made back his budget, which was at 180 million. And Daddy's Home did 13 million, which brings its total to 72 million, which I don't know. I ain't gonna call it truly a flop, but I know it's gonna lose. It's gonna lose money for the company. What company put it out? Fox? No. Paramount. Paramount put it out, and it's gonna lose money for it because they had a $69 million budget, and its worldwide total is at 72 million. So yeah, I don't know, like this, I don't know, it's kind of like, it's kind of a slow end of the year. You do got some big movies. You had Thor Ragnarok, you had Coco, you had Justice League, and then of course the next big movie to end off the year is Star Wars. So I mean, it's kind of, I ain't gonna say it's truly slow, but it kind of is. Because these movies that came out already aren't doing as good as I think that they wanted it to do. The Justice League, I guarantee you, like a lot of people thought it would probably do better. I wanted it to do better. I think it should have done better. But I think just the stigma of BVS, because even though we got Wonder Woman earlier this year, man, I think a lot of people are going to mostly associate it with BVS. So when you think of that, I mean, even if you don't know that Zack Snyder directed both of the films, I mean, not including Joss Whedon taking over like some writing credits and doing some of the reshoots and stuff like that, not even counting that, but the person that's behind this, the story and all that stuff, is Zack Snyder, and he did BVS. So I think a lot of people still make that connection, even without knowing Zack Snyder and who the hell he is and what he directs and all this stuff. Even if you haven't heard of the name, you still would associate Justice League with BVS because that was the closest thing to BVS, because you had 3 out of the 6 Justice League members in that movie. And so, I mean, I think that's kind of what his downfall, because a lot of people probably had the same mentality I did going into this. Like, you either was going to go see it or you wasn't. Or you were just waiting on to see people's reaction. If your coworker, your classmate, or somebody, your friend saw it before you and they said it was good, gave you the thumbs up, then you go see it. But if they said they didn't like it, you'd be like, oh, wait, you know. I think it was more kind of like that. So, but yeah, this was a box office. I could say. I ain't gonna say I wasn't too impressed, but I feel like some of these movies should have done a little bit more. But you know, Coco did its thing. It came in, it conquered, and it did its thing. It was just sad that Justice League couldn't have a second week to dominate, or third or fourth week. It only had one weekend to dominate, and then the next weekend Coco just came in and just swept it. You know, so I mean, it just kind of sucks on that end. But right before I get into the predictions, let me get into the upcoming movies that's coming out this weekend. And there's nothing coming out this weekend, which is absolutely surprising. I guarantee you, every single week of this year, there was always a movie coming out. Maybe not a big tadpole movie. Or is that the word? Am I using it right? Am I saying it right? Anyway. But it wasn't a big movie, but at least a, small movie that, I had some type of interest in, or just had some type of like note to it. But I'm literally tried to find any movie that's coming out this weekend. I thought, just Googled it and just, whatever. But I'm like, there's nothing coming out. I see the Disaster Artist has a limited release Friday. But as far as actually any notable movies coming out, there is really no notable movies coming out this weekend, which is highly surprising. So this is gonna just make my predictions fairly easy, which is gonna bring this episode kind of to a close earlier than what I actually thought. But my predictions are all going to be the same. Exactly what it was last week. Since there are no notable movies. Oh, excuse me, I dropped something. Since there are no notable movies coming out that are clearly going to be in the top 5 of this upcoming weekend, my predictions stay the same. I mean, the box office is going to stay the same. The numbers are going to change. Absolutely, the numbers are going to change. But as far as just the predictions, it's going to be Coco number 1, Justice League number 2, Wonder number 3, Thor Ragnarok at number 4, and number 5 is going to be Daddy's Home. I was thinking about doing the numbers just to kind of do something like this when there is ever a weekend where you have nothing coming out, so the same movies are basically going to fill up the same spot. I'm not going to do it this episode. I'm going to probably do it the next time this happens. I'm probably going to just guess the numbers and where they coming at. So I'm going to just basically just talk about what they're going to bring in for this coming weekend. But like I said, I'm not going to do it this weekend. I'm going to go ahead and close out this show. And yeah, this was actually a pretty good episode. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and just share this. Share it. If you really did like it, share it. Let your friends know, let other people know. Comment and just subscribe if you haven't already. And also turn on the notification bell. That way you'll be notified for any videos that drop on my channel. movie reviews, podcasts, anything else that drop on my channel, you will be first to know. It will alert you and all that good stuff. And yeah, I think that's it. Until the next time I see you guys, or so until the next time, thanks for listening, and catch you on episode 56 of the Take One podcast. Peace.